Welcome back to Big Mouth, and fancy seeing every single one of you here. I'm really enjoying doing these videos. So, James Wan, the director of Aquaman, has said he would love to make a Batman horror movie. And you know what, James? I think when the box office comes in and the reviews come in for your movie, I think you're going to get the keys to the DC Universe and the keys to Warner Brothers, and you're going to be able to make whatever you want. Would I be up for a Batman horror movie? Hell yeah, made by this guy, the king of horror movies, right? I mean, what him and Walter Hamada did over at New Line Cinema is absolutely fantastic. And this is the beautiful thing about Warner Brothers and about DC. They can do whatever tone they want. They're not Disney. They're not worried about family fun and this and that. So basically, there's a freedom now. So before, when we kind of started off with Man of Steel, there was a tone, there was a direction. They were locked into that. But now, we don't have to be locked into anything. And I really do think that Walter Hamada and James Wan can do whatever they want now. Because if Aquaman is so successful that it makes... look, the truth of the matter is we don't know how much this film's going to make after all's said and done globally. You know, forget the arrogant Americans and only talking about domestic. No. If you've got a row of shops, you don't just check how much one of them makes. You want to know how much cash you've got altogether, right? And it's the same with films. So I think we're going to be very, very surprised how much this film makes. I think it could be a bigger surprise than Venom. I really do. I think this is going to come in big. I really do. And I've said it a billion times before, and I'm sorry if I'm boring you, but what a difference a year makes. So why? What's happened? Well, first of all, do you remember when James Wan was getting slaughtered for holding the trailer, the first trailer back for Aquaman? He said, I'm not releasing anything until it looks perfect. People criticised him because he's a perfectionist, you know. But if you release the trailer too early and the CG wasn't great, or you get these so-called people who've never worked in the film industry before going, ooh, the CG is too grainy. It's not good enough. It's too cartoony. You know, the BS that you get. But you can't win with some of these people. So, yeah, you look back at that time. But what was great about James Wan when all this negativity was coming out, and when they were talking about bubbles underwater and all that, he came at people straight away. Grace Randolph said something, and he was very polite to her. I love your content, but no, that is not accurate. And then he came back again when people said, yeah, oh, James Wan sat Grace Randolph back down. No, I love Grace, blah, blah, blah. He's a gentleman, but the great thing about David F. Sandberg and James Wan is they're on Twitter and they're active and they're looking for negativity. And if someone's saying something that's not true, and I think this is beautiful, and you look at kind of the people who work on Marvel, it's not the same thing, is it? So James Wan could make an excellent Batman horror movie. I mean, I've not read many Batman comics to be, you know, my love for DC is through the movies. So unfortunately, and I think I've done myself a disservice by not reading many comic books in my time. Growing up, I didn't have access to them. There wasn't the money for us. I know they were very expensive, but it wasn't the thing that we did, unfortunately. I suppose what I'm waiting for is DC Universe to go kind of global, because you can actually read these digital comics, can't you, on DC Universe? So when I'm able to get DC Universe, I'm certainly going to be getting into the comics. And maybe, guys, for you DC knowledgeable people who do know the comics, the Batman comics, let me know what Batman graphic novel could be, you know, made into a Batman horror movie. And I'll research these stories and see what I think as well, because I think that, I mean, obviously, I don't know if someone led him into saying this, like, oh, would you like to make a Batman horror movie? Because they know he's great at making horror movie with his CV and everything. But I think, you know, this is not just something that I think is just saying that he's saying. I think he genuinely would love to do that. My problem with James Wan is a bit like J.J. Abrams. He's got too many fingers in too many pies. So even if he gets offered every comic book character under the sun at DC, it's going to take time to do it, because he's doing so many different things. And it's not just stuff that he's making. There's stuff that he produces. I mean, what happened to this YouTube project he was doing? He was going to do a Knight Rider reboot via YouTube as well. So that must be on the cards as well. So I'd love to see that big Knight Rider fan, by the way. I grew up on the freaking thing. Brilliant. But yeah, James Wan, as soon as I heard he was doing Aquaman, I was so excited because I thought this is the kind of guy that we want. And he's very vocal. And when the media go at him, he's very direct in what he says, but he's very polite. He never loses the plot. He never loses his composure, unlike some creatives in the industry right now. And I like that. He's very calm. He's very young. He looks younger than what he is, actually. He looks like he's just come out of university or college campus, don't he? So I love James Wan, and I'm so happy people are talking positively about his Aquaman movie because it is a wonderful movie. I've seen it, and it really is a brilliant movie. But yes, the potential of a Batman horror movie for me is really, really exciting. And as I said, he is going to get offered anything he wants now. And with Walter Hamada, his friend and long-serving colleague in charge of DC Films, you know, the world's his oyster because you want talented creatives like Wan involved in our universe. It's not like we haven't had talented people like Zack Snyder and Patty Jenkins and things like that, but I think it's absolutely brilliant, and I'm really, really excited. You know what? I've just been disturbed because my mum's screaming her lungs out, but I'm just going to ignore her and carry on this video because I'm pumped about this. It's great that we're getting headlines like this. Do you remember like years back when this used to happen with the MCU? This director said they want to do that, and all the Marvel fans got excited. Now we're getting the same thing for us. So I'm just pumped. I'm pumped because maybe that will... I mean, what I'm getting a sense of here as well is there's going to be many Batman projects, different ones. Many Superman projects, different ones. You know, different characters. Now, going back to Aquaman, Aquaman was commissioned by the old regime. And I suspect if it wasn't James Wan already directing it and Momoa kind of in the role, which kind of promotes inclusivity and representation, I'm not sure if they would have carried on with the project, even if they had to shut it down in the middle, because Justice League was such a mess. But yesterday you saw my video talking how Jason said this literally has the canon of the Snyder Cut in it. Brilliant, exciting. So with the DCEU now, with hearing things like this, with the worlds of DC, anything is possible. There is more of a potential where anything can happen. But the main perspective is, and the main priority is, to do comic accurate stories, but also with the DC Dark level to do something a bit different from what we've seen in the comics before. So let me know down below. Tell me what Batman graphic novels you would like to see adapted for James Wan to do this Batman horror movie. Is it just talk? Could it happen? I think anything can happen now, especially if James Wan wants something, he'll get it. So share the video, like the video, please subscribe. I love doing this. I love that you guys are subscribing. I'm still a very, very small channel, but that's cool. It doesn't matter. It's all about me talking to you, the fans. I'm a fan. You're a fan. Let's stick together. We are family.